Good evening, Tanak Shima, and I'm here with Braden Waldner for ABC from our studio in Brazil.
Our top story tonight, invasive species, unreal threat, more now.
Reports have indicated that a surge in violence between the invasive Africanized honeybee and local pollinator populations has resulted in more defensive and territorial bees. Multiple people have been reported dead in recent years to attacks from these killer bees from across the ocean.
We now go live to a case of one of these brutal incidents.
Flower, you're looking pretty honey and sweet. I think you want to go with a native species like myself, as I am native to this ecosystem.
Hey, I'm an African honeybee. What are you doing?
What the heck? That's an exotic species. He's here to provide more competition that has no limiters against it because it's not from around here. There's no natural predators in the
Get out of here!
These invaders also disrupt local pollination cycles and steal plants from other bees, which may result in starvation for entire hives.
In other news, recently we did an interview as part of our series, Keystone, a Perspective Unseen, about various keystone species in our world and how they help our ecosystem to survive. This is an excerpt from a recent interview with one Mr. Brazil N. Tree.
So, Mr. Brazil Nut Tree, tell us, how do you serve as a keystone for the Amazon?
Well, I think it's simple, really. I grow so widely in the Amazon that I'm an essential organism. Not even talking about that countless animals call me home, and I provide nectar as well as food for other animals. I mean, let's realistically think about it. How aren't I?
That is a good point, Mr. Tree. And we have more questions for you as well.
Those viewers at home who are unaware, a keystone species is a species in which ecosystems depend upon heavily, to where if it were removed, the ecosystem would be dramatically affected.
Now, the jaguar is actually another important one, and as he's the keystone species for multiple different rainforests, including the Amazon. Now, the reason he's so important is how he, at his position at the top of the food chain, regulates the population of other animals so efficiently, which leads to effective population control.
Yes, excellent work there. Now, we go to the weather. Thank you, Tate. As we can see, there will be a steady 25 degrees Celsius of temperature all year round, with a rainfall of about 79 to 394 inches this year. Now, that's locally for us in the Amazon, and if we go look at other places, we can actually see somewhat similar conditions, such as, for example, in Vietnam. We're going to receive average temperatures of about 25 degrees, and yep, that's 79 to 114 range for precipitation. That's inches per year, of course. Now, it's interesting, because even though these two areas are in different parts of the world, they have similar, almost even uniform properties of temperature and precipitation. Well, I'd say that's just the characteristics of biomes, having similar temperatures and precipitation no matter what part of the world they are in. Thank you, and that was the weather. Now we look at sports.
Recently, there was a fierce competition in the NCAA League. That's National Carnivorous Animal Athletics. For those at home, as well, can see there's a bit of competition between our fourth trope schools here with the Boas State Snakes and Jag Technical Jaguars.
It was a close match and really quite fierce. Both teams were sincerely giving it their all, and in the end, it was a close match. Both teams, as we know, are in competition for the same resource, which really just demonstrates how broad these two teams' niches are. Because if they're really in competition like this, then they must occupy similar roles in the rainforest.
Now we go to politics, and the current government of the Congo rainforest, the Green Party, who is run by a bunch of planet people who recently just passed a new bill drafting a new law called Law of Tolerance.
Now, the gist of this bill is that every organism has a certain level of tolerance of abiotic factors, and that they need to have a range of tolerance to which they can survive in. Some objection came from the Democratic Congo Party from the opposition leader John Okapi, who is an okapi, which are hooved animals closely related to
giraffe,
which are also have low tolerance levels according to the recently drafted law.
The Democrats' objective, stating the quote, "Our people are already endangered. The law simply creates more conditions for not only our extirpation, but because we are endemic to this area, we would become extinct. Our death will be sealed because of the tolerances."
Good evening. I'm President John Plants of the Congo. Now, people, I have come before you to speak of the recent decision which our government has made. After much deliberation in our own House of Commons, we have come to the decision that we will draft the bill formerly known as the Law of Tolerance Bill. Effective immediately, the Law of Tolerance will be forced upon all citizens everywhere, in every nation, not just here, but all the rainforests around the world. Now, are there any questions, especially from the Democratic Party, who had staunch resistance to this?
The law of tolerance states that we need specific abiotic factors to survive.
You got it all wrong, you bumbling fool. The law of tolerance states that you need to be able to tolerate a certain level of abiotic conditions. Now, maybe you should research before you come.
Yeah!
Hey, let me go, folks!
Yes, a stout opposition there indeed. Well, that's all the time we had for today. I'm Tate Nakashima with Braden Wallner here for ABC.